So today I want to talk about what you need to bring as a DJ so you can play on any setup ever. So if you're a DJ and you have a gig coming up and you're about to play on a house setup, you're not bringing your own mixer or anything like that, watch this video to the end. Now what I'm about to tell you will prevent two huge disasters, which is one, you can't play on the setup there, you don't have what you need, and then it would lead to two, which is the worst case scenario. You actually have to bring in your own mixer and not use the house setup. You never, ever, 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 ever want to do that, especially if you're coming from the wedding world or the private event world and you finally got your first club gig or your first bar gig. You don't want to be that guy that brings his own controller, okay? Everyone hates that guy. Trust me, you don't need that. And I also want to highly recommend that you bring all this stuff to every single gig, no matter what setup they tell you they have, because sometimes they're wrong, sometimes it doesn't have what you need, and you end up getting caught with your pants down. Like, never trust anybody. They never know. It could be CDJs, ends up being turntables. It could be turntables, ends up being some kind of controller. You never know what you're going to play on, okay? Don't trust nobody. Bring everything, every single gig. Now, for the first scenario, let's say you're going to play on turntables. You should always have needles with you, okay? Even if you use phase, right? I'm a phase fan. I think it works well, but even if you use phase, I still put needles on because sometimes phase messes up, okay? I don't trust technology. Needles will never do you wrong. They're analog. You put them in, you're good to go. So worst case, phase starts messing up, you got the control vinyl, you just throw the needles on, you keep it pushing, okay? So even if you use phase, bring the needles every single time. And then of course you need control vinyl and slip mats, and they should always go together, okay? That's a big thing. When you have control vinyl, always have the slip mats with it, just like this. Always, always, always together. There's been a lot of gigs in my past where I forget my slip mats and I had to borrow somebody's, or I had to go to the bathroom and grab, napkins and put them underneath my control vinyl, or I had to go get wax paper from the kitchen or something. I don't know. There's a million workarounds, but it's a nightmare, okay? Just keep your slip mats with your vinyl and then bring the set with you every single gig. Now, let's say you're playing on CDJs. There's several things you should always have with you. The first thing is a USB hub, okay? You want to have a really good USB hub. This one is a hyperdrive, and all the stuff I talk about, I'll put links in the description in case you're wondering, but definitely have a USB hub. That way you can hook up the CDJs through HID mode. But let's say you brought the hub, but there's not enough USBs. I've been there too. Get to the club and you got the hub and you're good to go, but there's not enough USBs, right? You need 3 USBs, one for the mixer and one for each CDJ. Well, in that case, you need to always have control CDs on you, okay? This is the old school way of doing it. I don't care. You got the control tone, you loop it, you keep it pushing, and you can still get the gig done. And honestly, it's kind of fun. It's more of like a turntable feel if you never played on it, And on top of that, especially with CDJs, you should always have a USB flash drive that has all your music on it, or at least whatever you need to get a club gig done. Now, I'm not a sticks guy. I play on a computer still, okay? I guess I'm old school. I'm really not a fan of sticks, but I always have this with me just in case. You never know. I can still get a gig done on sticks. I'll be cranky, but I can get it done. And this one in particular is really cool. This is by DJ Tech Tools. It's actually a USB 3.2. It's super fast. This thing's literally made to be used with CDJs or like a Denon All-in-One or whatever. So this is literally the USB stick. They just came out with it. I absolutely love it. Shouts to DJ Tech Tools. I'll put a link in the description. Now, on top of all that, I highly recommend you also bring your own USB cable. Now, most house setups will have a USB cable there for you. Okay, so you'll be good to go. You plug your laptop and keep it pushing, but you never know. Sometimes they don't. That way you have one, or maybe it's a USB-A cable and you don't have the adapter. Maybe bring an adapter too, but I always bring my own cable. And I've had these cables break too or go bad. Sometimes if I get to a gig and the cable has just been through hell, you look at the cable, you're about to plug in your computer and it's the right one, but it just looks like it's been through hell. I'm not going to trust it. I'm going to use my own, just in case. I know this is a solid cable that's literally made for DJing. Also by DJ Tech Tools, by the way. They call them chroma cables. Big, big fan. Now for some miscellaneous items, I always bring a wired mic with me just in case, let's say the club doesn't have a mic or it's a really shitty mic or it's mad dirty. I mean, sometimes I don't want to talk on the same mic that every other DJ talked on and catch AIDS or whatever. I'd rather have my own shit. So I always bring my own wired mic. I also never leave home without Advil or whatever your favorite headache medication is, because let's be honest, sometimes your head be ringing on the way home. So it's good to take that right at the end of the gig. And I'm not, wanting to drive off a cliff on the way home, And the last thing is not make or break, but something I always have in my bag just in case is stickers. You never know when you can use a sticker, Maybe you want to put it somewhere, or maybe like you're at a stoplight and there's like a really good telephone pole. It's like perfect, you know what I mean? And there might be other stickers there already. You want to kind of like add yours. I always bring these big ass stickers I can kind of like put there and, stick them. And don't judge me, all right? You just never know when you can use a sticker, okay? You just never know. And that's it, people. So good luck at your gigs. If I missed anything, let me know in the comments. I'll see you guys at the next one.